Give me
Boxer
Death Row
Trav
Reese.
said with the super chat says, "Shout out to you fellas, Coop. I will address you and your RZA slander by responding to you in the comments."
Man, look at how RZA living. Look at how the rest of them living.
Hey man,
Beast.
listen man, Wu Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, man. Like my only thing with the whole RZA thing, and I want to use this as a transition to the Pharrell song. I think that when we talk about an all-time list, I get that RZA's dominance in 93, 94, 95 is something that we've never seen before. But
Mm-hmm.
what happened after that is very tough to kind of just put him ahead of people who've been around for 20 plus years and given us that same kind of intensity. It's very tough to put. I hate to even say it, like we talk about Alchemist all the time. Whenever we talk about somebody getting together with a producer for an album, everybody's like, yeah, he needs Alchemist. They need Alchemist. We used to talk about RZA like that in 1995. We've been talking about Alchemist like this for 20 years, 10 at least, right? And
Yeah.
Alchemist has hit records or classic records with Keep It Thorough. That was 2000. We Gonna Make It was 2000. And he's still bringing it. So I'm going to say this. I know most people are going to go Dr. Dre, right? Dr. Dre, number one, Premier 2 for people, whatever. How do y'all justify putting RZA ahead of Kanye West as a producer and all the work that he's done?
No, listen to what I was about to say because I've had these legit thoughts. First of all, when we say RZA in '93, we got to remember Into the Wu Tang came out at the end of
November.
'93.
November,
So when
yeah.
we're talking '93, he really didn't have '93 like that. It's '94 because that's when the Wu Tang stuff bubbled. Method Man's album came at the end of '94, and '95 is Old Dirty, Raekwon and RZA, epic. And then Ghost is, fall of '96. So if you're really looking at it, it's really looking more like a kind of like beginning of '94 to end of, it's from '94 to the beginning of '96. So it's really about 2 years, Mike, okay?
Mm-hmm. No, it's
You,
real. Some of the
no, no,
best
no.
2 years of
No.
my
Do
life.
you remember? No, Mike, I'm going to name two players. We do a lot of sports analogies. Do you remember Anthony Hardaway and Grant Hill, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Great.
Now, I watched Anthony Hardaway, and you did too, have one of the greatest seasons I ever saw a point guard have. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And actually made All NBA first team, I believe, 2 of his first 3 years.
Yep.
I watched Grant Hill have a season where he literally averaged almost a triple double for a season, literally averaged 25, 9, and 9,
Yeah.
right?
Grant
And
Hill
he
was
had a few
LeBron
seasons like
James
that. He had
before
about 3 or 4
LeBron
seasons
James
like that. Grant Hill literally had about 3 or 4 seasons where he averaged over 25 points and at least 7 rebounds and 7 assists. It
in
was like
Detroit.
all-time great numbers. This is when small forwards weren't putting up numbers like that, including Scottie Pippen. Okay,
Yeah, he was LeBron James before LeBron James.
and Penny was Kobe before Kobe. Now, how did that end up in the long term? Because they only both played like that for about 3 or 4 years. How are they remembered?
Exactly. And it's unfortunate because on paper and without injury, I know, in my personal opinion, they're two of the best of their era, but they're never going to
Yeah.
get remembered as that because the longevity factor. Longevity matters. We just got through talking about the longevity of LeBron James. And you know what? In the future, I mean, I know what I saw when it comes to Michael Jordan and what I saw when it comes to LeBron, and everybody can have their opinion. But in the future, people are going to look at these numbers that LeBron's putting up in his 18th, 19th, possibly 20th season, and they're going to be like, well, Jordan only played 15 years. That's what they're gonna say, and they would have an argument there. I mean, but obviously you got to dig deeper into what happened on the court and the overall numbers, but longevity matters, and we're talking about somebody who did it at a high level for 2 years versus people who've done it at a high level for 20. It's a very tough argument to make outside of being just personally attached to that producer. You know what I'm saying? Like we love RZA so much because RZA made some of the music that made me truly fall in love with hip hop on a different level. I mean, I loved it anyway, but when Wu Tang was making what they were making, that took my love for hip hop to a whole different level. And RZA's the reason for that. And I think a lot of us, when we put RZA super high, it's hard for us to step out of that.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, so in a vacuum, I mean, and this is what I mean. It's like, do you remember seeing Penny?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you saw him play for that time
Had
at
the
point guard,
jerseys, had the shoes, everything.
no. Listen, if you saw him play, like we're talking about all things being considered,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like, well, Steph's not better than him. Marbury's not better than him. Dame's not better than him.
He
Who
was
else?
6'9".
Westbrook, Harden, like none of those guys, because he could do everything that they could do except for like maybe shoot like Steph can, and he was 6'7", 6'8". He's a better passer than all of them. He's a better passer and rebounder than all of them.
He was 6'9", wasn't he?
I thought he was 6'7".
Really? Okay.
Now him and Scotty is about the same height, so like
Okay.
that's 6'7", 6'8".
That's
But
still
that's what I
incredible
mean.
for a point guard.
Yeah, like he had magic LeBron type passing ability.
I mean, LeBron James has said before, and it makes sense because LeBron comes up in that era. He patterned his game after Penny.
I can totally see that. Yeah.
LP with the super chat says, "Yay, greater than RZA longevity wise. RZA got higher highs, but again, on an all time list, we have to say the longevity. It matters most. And honestly, you know, if you want to say higher highs or whatever, maybe. I think that Kanye's longevity is one thing. I think his range is another.
No, Mike, I'm gonna read to you why RZA gets ranked so high. We can go to my list of top 100 albums of all time. Number 3, Only Built for Cuban Links. Number 8, Enter the Wu-Tang. Number 13, Supreme Clientele. Number 14, Liquid Swords. That's why he has arguably made 4 of the 20 greatest rap albums of all time. He's the only one that can say that. Not even Drake can say that, in my opinion. And so that is why
he's the only one. You don't think Drake can say that?
Huh?
You don't think Drake can say that?
Not 4 of the top 20, Mike. Like, we talking about 4 top 20 albums right here.
With
like
Dre, this Swords, is what we're talking about. Hold on,
Liquid Swords, Supreme, Cuban Link, Into the Wu-Tang. No, that's 4 top 20, Mike.
He got like 2 top 10 though, possibly. Okay.
No, he got 2 top 10, but that's
so
like
we got 2. Hold on, we got Doggy Style to Chronic, right? You got Straight Outta Compton. You know, I think that's gonna be considered, right? Get Rich or Die Trying. Are we giving him that? No.
I got Get Rich or Die Trying at 34.
We got 2001.
I got 2001 at 31.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think that all 5 of those are arguable on anybody's list. Top 20,
I said,
top 25.
Here's what RZA's real claim to fame may end up being, Mike. His highs are the highest highs that any producer has seen in terms of the quality of album and song output that you'll find. Because keep in mind, I'm talking about 4 of the top 20 albums of all time, but he also made some of the best hip-hop songs of all time, like Bring the Pain. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think would happen, though? Let's just say we did like this would be interesting, just for fun.
Iron Man is a top 100 rap album to me. Like, it's actually, like, where did I put Iron Man? I got Iron Man at 42, Mike. So, I mean, he's got 5 albums in the top 50 that he executive produced.
Just for fun, let's just say we did like a little short bracket or something. And let's just say that we put the RZA produced albums in those brackets and we put the Dre produced albums in those brackets and had them going against each other.
I think we should totally do that.
Yeah, I want to see who wins out on some of those matchups.
Now, here's what we're gonna have to do is, like, we're gonna have to like rank fairly the albums first. Then, so it's like which RZA albums, which Dre albums, and how deep are we going?
Well, what I would say is maybe take the best 8 executive produced. Because if it's a 16 slot thing, take the best 8 RZA produced albums or executive produced, because when you're dealing with Dre, you got to deal with executive produced. And then take the 8 best Dr. Dre executive produced albums.
Okay, so we're going to be able to do Into the Wu-Tang. Can we break Wu-Tang Forever up into 2 discs?
Well, I mean, no, we could put Wu-Tang Forever up against All Eyes on Me, right?
Okay. Hold on. So we got Into the Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang Forever, Meth, Dirt,
Let me get to the super chats real quick while you're figuring that out.
Ghost Sparks and RZA. Yeah. No. We can do that. That's cool.
Man, back to the super chat says, LOL, RZA's peak is better than all the dudes. Dre ain't produced more classics than RZA. Laughing my ass off. That's why RZA is top 3. 007 says, Cam A off Iron Man was so epic. Wu-Tang is forever. Jay Short with the super chat says, Jay is in position most black men have never seen and delivers on and deliver on an album with content and no one else is in that position to present, if he's the GOAT, he could take that and present it in an enjoyable hip-hop album. The challenge is out there. Blue Collar Hustler says, have you guys seen the Wu documentary from Mass Appeal? It paints a fair portrait of RZA and Wu's issues. RZA's not a thief. He made Divine let them go.
Oh, is that what he did?
Listen, I don't know the intricacies of what happened. Reggie said, fellas, the birth of gangster rap shut down the sound of a lot of up-and-coming artists on the West Coast. If not for gangster rap, what group from the West would have made a bigger name for themselves?
I think the Far Side.
I think so, too.
I think the Far Side is the group that probably would have been bigger.
I agree.
Yeah. Because they had the material and the songs to back it up. They even had Dilla behind them on Running. That's a Dilla beat.
I think Exhibit too.
I
LP
think
says
Exhibit still went platinum because Dre, helped facilitate the situation.
But I'm talking about before
that never happened for the Far Side.
Yeah, you're right. He had to jump on ship. LP says MJ got better stats, more accomplishments in a shorter time. It would be different if LeBron did more for a longer time, but he hasn't. That's different. Mad Max with the super chat says, like RZA has classics that are chips in sports. That's the difference from Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill. They don't have a championship. Okay. Well, all right. Let's just say RZA won championships. Those were in 2 seasons, right? Or was that just 95?
I mean, how can you count 93 when Enter the Wu-Tang is like November 93? So
That's
you can't
true.
count 93. So you can
And
give
honestly,
him 94.
at the Source Awards,
94, he's got Enter the Wu-Tang Bubble Over, and he's got Meth's album. And you can definitely give him 95. You can't give him 96 because all he has really in 96 is Iron Man.
what was that Source Award where they gave Dr. Dre Producer of the Year? Was that for the work on Doggy Style? Because I don't know. I think it hit the cutoff. You know what I'm saying? It had to be. I think
Remember
they did
the Murder Was the
include
Case
that.
soundtrack was out too, though, Mike.
I don't think he would have got Producer of the Year in 1994 for that. You know what I mean? It had Doggy Style had to be considered.
Right.
Eric Sermon says,
Well,
Ghana
Doggy Style is
in
December of 93, so Snoop owned a lot of, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People forget that, like, Doggy Style, how about this? Doggy Style, Illmatic, and Ready to Die? It's like all 6 months. 6 months, Mike.